There's no sign of him.
What do you want us to do?
Work your way down the canal. I'll circle around and meet you there.
You followed me to Beirut. The last time I saw my father. Why would he have you follow me? It doesn't make any sense. Why?
Don't give him a goddamn thing.
Why?
Who might be taking the director's chair for Jason Bourne 6? It's none other than Edward Berger, the talented filmmaker behind All Quiet on the Western Front. None other than the unstoppable Jason Bourne. There's word from Deadline that a fresh Bourne movie is in the making. According to Deadline, they're whispering about a sixth Bourne movie in the works. Universal hasn't given the official nod yet though. It's all in the baby steps of development. No script, no plot teasers, nada. We're on standby for more deets. So will Matt Damon be back in action as Jason Bourne for the sixth movie? Well, it's a bit foggy. Damon rocked the role in 4 out of the 5 past flicks. He kicked things off in 2002 with The Bourne Identity, then crushed it in The Bourne Supremacy and The Bourne Ultimatum. But he took a breather for The Bourne Legacy, where Jeremy Renner stepped in. Damon made a comeback in 2016 with Jason Bourne. Chances are they'll likely ask Damon to join the party for the new movie, but we're keeping our fingers crossed he says yes. And as for Renner, well, it's up in the air if he'll make a comeback too. The other Bourne flicks had some big names behind the camera, like Doug Liman and Paul Greengrass. Since the movie is still in its baby steps, we don't have a clue about when it's hitting the screens. The last one, Jason Bourne, landed back in 2016.
It wasn't supposed to go like this. I wanted to talk.
Where's Dewey going?
He's going to Vegas to speak with Aaron Kalora at the Cyber Convention.
So if they're just kicking things off in late 2023, it might be a good long while before we see the sixth flick. Could be nearly 10 years since the last one, if we're counting. But in 2017, Damon hinted he might not reprise the role. Things could have changed since then, though, or maybe a killer script could tempt him back. It popped up in 2019 on USA Network and is now on Peacock. It's tied to the Bourne movies, but sadly got axed after 1 season. We heard last November that Universal Pictures was cooking up another Bourne movie with director Edward Berger. Fans were buzzing, wondering if Matt Damon would make a comeback. We know he rocked the lead role in 4 of those flicks, while Jeremy Renner took the reins for 1. Together, those movies raked in a whopping $1.6 billion globally. Damon's last run as Bourne was back in 2016 with Jason Bourne. Damon popped up on The Late Show, and when Colbert mentioned the new Bourne movie, Damon didn't spill the beans if he was in or out, but he did give a big thumbs up to the director, Edward Berger. Berger hit it big in 2022 with Netflix's version of All Quiet on the Western Front. That movie got 9 Oscar nods, snagging 1 for an international feature and 3 more awards. Quite the success story. Damon mentioned this awesome director, Edward Berger. He made a killer film with All Quiet on the Western Front. Damon thinks he's great and he seems pretty keen to team up with him. He's crossing his fingers for it to happen. Damon hinted it might be time for someone else to step in since he's not getting any younger. Back in November, insiders split the beans to Variety that the new Bourne movie was just getting started. They made it clear that any Bourne comeback was still a long way off. Well, it's a mystery if Damon, Renner, or both will jump back into action. But if the new Bourne flick kicks off, Berger will be in good company among the franchise's top-notch directors like Liman, Greengrass, and Gilroy. If Matt Damon lands a big role in Jason Bourne 6, it would be a cool milestone in his awesome career. We know since he shot to fame with Good Will Hunting back in '97, he has been a big deal in Hollywood, known all over the globe. Damon's Bourne movies played a big role in making him famous, especially the first 3 that came out in the 2000s. Back then, he also rocked in other awesome movies like The Talented Mr. Ripley, Saving Private Ryan, Ocean's 11, and The Departed, which won an Oscar. Damon came back as Bourne in 2016 for that reboot. That's the latest we've seen of him as that famous character. He's been busy with lots of other stuff since then, like Ford vs. Ferrari, Air, and let's not forget Oppenheimer, which won Best Picture. Damon's surprise appearances in movies are kind of famous too. He's hinted he might be up for another Bourne flick, but nothing's official yet. We can catch him in John Krasinski's new movie called If, hitting theaters in May 2024. We all know Matt Damon and Ben Affleck go way back as buddies and working partners. If there's a showdown between them and Jason Bourne 6, it'd be a huge deal for both of them. Affleck and Damon began their acting journey together as extras in Field of Dreams. Their first real on-screen moment happened in School Ties back in '92. Then, Good Will Hunting made them famous as both creative partners and pals. After that, they teamed up in movies like Chasing Amy in '97, Dogma in '99, and Jay and Silent Bob Strike back in 2001. Damon and Affleck took a long break from working together in movies. There was an 18-year gap between Jay and Silent Bob Strike back in 2001 and the Jay and Silent Bob reboot in 2019. But after that, they teamed up again for 2 more flicks, The Last Jewel in 2021 and Air in 2023. Oh, and let's not forget that hilarious Dunkin' Super Bowl ad they did together. They're teaming up again for Doug Liman's new movie called The Instigators. Affleck's producing, Damon's acting, and Casey Affleck's writing the screenplay. If there's ever a perfect time for Damon and Affleck to go head-to-head in a Bourne flick, it's now when they're working together on a bunch of stuff. Affleck, who used to play Batman, once said he could beat Damon in a fight. He mentioned it to EW back in 2016, joking that Damon talks a big game but wouldn't say it to his face. Affleck teased Damon about it, saying he couldn't even beat him, let alone Batman. He even challenged Damon to a fight when they were both in London for a movie premiere. Even though Affleck was just kidding, the thought of a former Batman taking on Bourne is pretty exciting, especially when we think about Affleck and Damon's history and friendly competition. If they squared off in Bourne 6, it'd be a huge deal. It could even become a cultural moment, kinda like the Barbenheimer craze in 2023. The hype before the movie comes out, it'd be like a big UFC match. Affleck and Damon playfully tease each other in interviews, creating a fun rivalry off screen. Even when Affleck plays a bad guy, we still cheer for him, so if he's the villain in Jason Bourne 6, it'd make the movie even more exciting to watch. Just in February 2024, Damon said he was keen to jump back into the Bourne series after liking the script. Besides that, we haven't heard much about Jason Bourne 6. Universal mentioned in 2023 that they're working on it, but that's about it for now. For Jason Bourne 6, it's a toss-up. Either Damon comes back as Bourne or they focus on a new main character, maybe Renner's Aaron Cross from the Bourne legacy. But let's hope Damon sticks around to keep the Bourne legacy going strong. And if Affleck's in the mix too, it'll only make things even more exciting. Aaron Cross, played by Jeremy Renner, is part of the secret program called Operation Outcome run by the US Department of Defense. They give agent pills to make them super strong and smart. While on a mission in Alaska, Cross meets up with another agent hiding out in a cabin. Meanwhile, Jason Bourne has blown the lid off similar programs, causing a big investigation. Colonel Eric Byer decides to shut down Outcome and kill all the agents. Cross manages to survive and wants more pills to stay supercharged. He finds Dr. Marta Shearing, who tells him there's a way to make his powers permanent without pills, but he reveals he's not so smart without the mental pills. They travel to Manila and Cross goes through this risky process to make his powers permanent. Now they're on the run, dodging the police and some new program's agents.
Follow me, okay? Stay with me.
The movie ends with them escaping a ship from the Philippines. In November 2016, producer Frank Marshall said Universal Pictures is feeling hopeful about making another Jason Bourne movie, but he also mentioned that a sequel to the Bourne legacy might not happen, even though they're not ruling it out completely. Then, in March 2017, Matt Damon, the star of the series, hinted that maybe the fans are over the character. Fast forward to October 2019, producer Ben Smith confirmed they're working on a new film. He didn't spill the beans about the story or what the studio's planning, but he did say it'll connect to the Treadstone TV series. So, are you excited for the series just like us?
People are still out there, asleep, and someone's waking them up. Please don't make me do this.
Do share your thoughts in the comments below. Also, don't forget to hit the like and subscribe button. Until next time, see you all.